I don't know if I can call this a hidden feature video per se, but it kind of is. So a while ago, I put out a video where I showcased my Generation 2, my Bionicle Generation 2 Nuju build specifically, who I have sort of sitting in front of me. Now, I've been salvaging some parts on him, but there's something interesting going on about this. And yes, he is T-posed for dominance, of course. No, rather, the thing that is probably interesting is this connection here that I discovered maybe last year, maybe the year before, honestly, I do not remember, but it is an interesting connection, and I wanted to take it one step further. Before I do, let me just show you how this works really quick. Again, I've covered it, but hey, it's convenient here. And of course, if you like this type of content, make sure to like and subscribe. With that said, the way that this works is actually fairly simple, using one of these wrench pieces, which I actually got from a Speed Champion set several years ago. And it's nice that it comes in this flat silver color, since that is one of the colors of my Nuju character. Interestingly, what I'm doing with it is I'm actually inserting it into the hole right on the top here, but inside of the socket, just like this. So once it's in, I'm just going to push it all the way in place, and you can kind of fiddle with it, turn it if you want to. Not necessary, but I'm a bit of a perfectionist. Just like this. And you see how you get a little bit of this sort of half moon shape? That is capable of doing something that I did not know before. It can clip onto axles. And that means that when you have a bone like this where the axle is actually exposed, if you put it on there the right way, just like that, it clips into place and it works. Now, it does leave that little spike off to the side, and there are definitely ways you could modify this. First off, you could cut that off if you wanted to, and many people have after I showcase this, but I like the spike. I'm going for a bit of a hunter vibe here, so it works for this character. No, I took this one step further. So in a lot that I got recently, there was a weird Transformer set, and not the highest quality thing in the world, and I don't have it on hand right now to show you, but it had these wing pieces that looked pretty cool overall, and actually are a pretty close match for LEGO's metallic blue from way back in the early 2000s. And so I really wanted this to actually clip in a very similar situation to this. Unfortunately, it didn't work. It's just a little bit too small, the bar connection on it. But it got me to thinking, it got me to experiment with something else. So I was using these cam pieces originally for it and actually connecting multiple of these wrench pieces in series. Then I went ahead and tried to connect that bar, but the bar wasn't big enough. And so I just was like, well, I'll check out an axle. At the end of the day, these are offset slightly. And so what this does is this will actually grab onto that axle. And this is a frictionless connection normally. These are pinholes on the side here, but it induces friction on the axle. Is it useful? I don't know, but it is cool because at the very least, it is inline friction in a fairly small form factor. Is it something LEGO would do? That's also something I can't really answer. Here's the thing. I imagine it puts at least some amount of stress on that piece, though I don't feel it myself, and inserting the axle feels pretty free, to be honest. I do have to hold the piece in alignment because it does rotate pretty easily, and these cams are not great at holding on to bar connections specifically, but I can just push it through here without much of an issue, and it just connects, and it's not gonna like spin freely. The friction is gone, or well, no, rather, the friction is there, the frictionlessness is gone. And so it just kind of works. I really enjoy this connection, but I don't know that I'm going to see it being used in anything, at least not anytime soon. You might be able to think of uses, and if you can, you are better than I am. But it is fascinating. And this is why I experiment so much with pieces like this. I have dozens of ideas for videos just like this, sort of in the woodworks, and I have found probably close to 100 different uses for bricks, for items made by LEGO that I really haven't seen documented elsewhere. But this one was obscure, and it's obviously, again, not necessarily a hidden feature per se. This piece is designed to clip onto studs after all, so it is sized proportional to pins, to axles, etc. But it's interesting at the very least. And I think it is situationally useful. So that's why I wanted to cover it in this video. It's also just kind of on top of my mind, being that it is a recent discovery and not something that I've cataloged and sort of filed away in my brain box somewhere up here rattling around. So I really like this one, and hopefully you find some use out of it too. Again, I might use it for wings or something, who knows, honestly. And thankfully it does leave those axles open for a longer axle if you want to use something else. So it is very easy to use this in a build if you prefer. And really, you don't even have to use it with the cam pieces in general. But it's a lot of fun, and I was experimenting with an idea that involved them. And so maybe this is a little insight to how my design process goes, how my brain works, how I think about connections when it comes to Bionicle, when it comes to Hero Factory, I guess, too. And yeah, generally, just a little screenshot into my building life as I go and point to my drawers that you can't see behind me. With all that being said, that's basically everything I wanted to cover in this video. I do have one more video planned for today, really depends on how that algorithm likes it, but I want to talk a bit about how to take care of CCBS parts because of their fragility to make sure that they don't break. So hopefully that'll be something you guys will enjoy. Who knows? But with all that being said, if you did enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe. It does really help the channel out, and it tells YouTube you want to see more content like this. And of course, you can join the conversation down in the comments below, or check out the Discord with myself and over 500 other members. Also, you can check out the Instagram, and if you want to support what it is I do here as the channel continues to grow, you can do so by checking out the Patreon. All of that is linked in the description below, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.